Hello, and welcome to Rock and Talk's cooking show. I already got a jump on this thing here. Got a little honey. Got about a teaspoon of honey in there. And then I got about a half a teaspoon of this delicious Rooster Sauce. Look at it. Can you see it? Delicious. Oh, so spicy. Throw a little bit more in there. I love the way it tastes. And that, of course, the real name, I believe, is Dong Doi Vietnam. Hard to see here. It's got the rooster on the label there. This shitty cooking show, you can't see anything. Anyway, so you got that, and then we put a few spritzes of the old sesame oil. A couple spritzes of sesame. Give it another spritz. A couple spritzes of sesame oil. Gives it a nice smoky flavor. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to put, I don't know, like what? See what it comes out to. 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. It's nice because that washes the spoon for you now. And then you're going to get your soy sauce. I like Kikkoman myself. I think it just tastes better. Then you're just going to put that in there. I'd say it's about 1/8 of a cup. Whatever that means. But it will, just sort of fill the bottom of your little pan there. Your little dish, right? So you got a glass dish. Now, something that's really nice, we're doing a little marinade here. You're going to put about half again as much teriyaki. Darken that water up. You're going to spin it up, stir it up, and try to distribute your honey fairly evenly. It'll go ahead and melt up, as you stir it. It won't stay glumpy in the bottom. The liquids will help it. Now, if you need a little more liquid, you can always use a bit of tea. Here's the tea. It's got a nice flavor. Cuts the sugar, cuts the salt. Now let's see. And it has its own, thing. If you got some Chinese cooking wine, rice wine, oh nice. Put a little bit in there. I don't. Oh, that's good. Alright. So, having done that, put our delicious marinade over there to be delicious. And then we're going to take our tofu. We're going to use extra firm tofu, always. Because the extra firm holds its shape better while you have to marinate it, right? Okay. I don't know, everyone does this stuff differently, naturally. But it's my cooking show. So if you take the tofu out of this package, like so, and then you get some cold water. And then you rinse the tofu off in the cold water. Take a minute. Get any of that slimy feel off of it. Very gently. I'm just like gently brushing it like that underneath the thing. See? Alright. Now, you need to shake the tofu out. And at this stage, it doesn't hurt. Take a paper towel. Just give it a little pat. We did the cold water to firm the tofu up. Get it nice and firm, ready for the... I don't know why you do it, but I do it and it works good. Get it ready. It seems to make it broil a little better too, which is our eventual goal here. We're going to be broiling. Okay, make sure we get all the water off our cutting dish, so we don't want to put the water back on that we just took off of our tofu. And then, it's your choice. I find it's good to measure the tofu by the dish. See this? Nice. This is going to fit just perfect in there. Same width, pretty much. So I'm going to go ahead then and cut my tofu lengthwise tonight. Nice big knife is your best bet. Right? And then make your slices about a 1/4 inch. And then once you got them sliced up, you try to keep them together here. Don't let them fall apart and separate. Sort of putting a little pressure on the end, and I'm going to hold in the back of the tofu there when I make my cut. Probably use a thinner knife will help, you know, like a bread type knife, because you don't need anything really sharp to get through this. What you do need is something nice and flat. It's going to be a little chunky, this one, but it's alright. Alright, then we're going to take our sliced up tofu, right, you know, and we're going to put it in our goo. I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. I'm going to put 2, 2, 2, and I'm going to go ahead and layer. So we got 2, 2, 2, have one goal, and then we got 1, 1, 1. You can, you know, this is where you get to use your own personal choice. They can go different ways, you know, but essentially, if you played your cards right here, you should be able to squish them down, right? And as you squish them, they should pretty much be covered by your marinade. You'll not lick off your fingers. The sesame oil gives it a nice woody taste, you know. And then the honey and the the Rooster Sauce kind of go, you know, work against each other, and the vinegar and the soy work against each other. This is nice. I think a tiny bit more soy. Just gonna sprinkle, not even another teaspoon on top there. I do have a little sherry, but I'm not really nuts about sherry on this stuff. We're going to be putting peanut oil in our pan, and that's going to give it a little bit of a flavor too. So it has a nice nutty thing going on. Alright, so here we are. We're looking at our marinating tofu. Here is a dish. It's not a dish actually, it's a pan. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put peanut oil in the pan. Peanut oil, as you know, costs a lot of money. I don't use much. And what I do is I take it. I'm going to put a little line right down the middle of my pan. I don't think that's even a teaspoon. Well, let me see. Might be a tablespoon. Might be a little over. But I'm trying here to conserve. Alright, there's your line. And you're going to let it run around like you would. You know. But the principal thing is to get enough spread around there. And I'm going this way with it. So I'm kind of spreading it, we got some lines coming out. And what's going to happen now is I'll use the tofu to push the oil in place, so to speak. Alright, I'm turning my broiler on in my stove. This stuff, you know, tofu, it sucks up anything you put it in, and so you don't really need to marinate it very long at all. Alright. Sometimes what I'll do, however, is I'll take the bottom pieces and I'll throw them in first. If they break, don't worry about it, because you know what? Still good. Still tastes good. Alright? You get it? You throw it on there. You drag it just for a second, not much, just to get oil on it, and then flip it. Okay? So now it's got oil on both sides. You don't got to worry about it. And do the same thing. You get the next one. You put it in a spot where you see some oil. You drag it and you flip it. You just keep doing this. You keep doing this. You'll hear, whoa, what's that sound? That must be my stove. Now, they break. The only problem you're going to have is when you got to flip them, which you will be doing, but only at the last sort of minute, and it's not much of a flip. So by then, it'll be a little crunchier, so you might stand a little better luck. But, you know, cut it a little thicker if you have problems with this flipping procedure. And put it in, drag it, get them in place. Now you're just laying them out there. Alright? Yeah, I could put more oil, but it costs a lot of money, that oil, peanut oil. Ooh, here's a big fat one. That'll be for Mal. She likes them thick sometimes, you know. And if the pieces break, it's alright. Put them on that way. Put them on, bro. Hey, just make sure, though, you do my little trick here, that you roll it in some oil and then flip it. And this way, each of the pieces is sort of primed, nice and nice. So when you turn it, it won't burn it. There's a little comb there. Alright. Very nice. I really should do 2 of these for this bigger pan. Wasn't thinking. I usually do 2 at a time because I like it. And we eat it like. Thank you. Oh, yum, yum. Hear that? That was the boiler saying, hey, how come there's nothing in me? Sucking up no heat. It's a good question, boiler. Fair enough. Alright, well, here we go. Got them almost all in there. Now when this comes out, oh, well, it's going to taste so good. Now maybe what I'll do is, what am I going to do? Okay. Put it up there. If you want, you can take your spoon, and then you're just going to mash it. Let me see where you can see one. Like, look, you mash it down there, like, mash it. And that makes a little indent, and you just pour a little on there. You don't want to go crazy, because you can baste it again later, and you don't want to burn. And this stuff is what burns, is the marinade. You know? So, putting a little pressure there makes a little indent. That's why you do it. A little squishy on your tofu. And, thusly. And some people like to actually take the edge of the spoon, like I'm doing on this thick piece. Ooh, make little cuts, little wounds, just like meat. That's crazy. Oh, alright, there we have it. Tofu's ready. It's going in. Here's our stove. Oh, we're not going in the stove. Sorry, stove. We're going in. Dun dun dun! Ah, no! Yes. No! Yes. No! Oh, yes. No! Yes! Alright. So that won't take too long. I'll let you know how long it took. It's 7:36. I'll tell you when I take it out. Bon appetit.